Ocean Connections for our virtual field trip. We are so excited that you guys are tuning in today. We have an amazing activity to share with you all today, talking a little bit about water conservation because, of course, we are dedicated to educating the public about wildlife conservation, marine mammals, and so much more in between. So thank you guys so much for joining us here today. I have my friend Sonoma joining us. So she is actually turning 20 years old this year, so we are excited to be joined by her a little bit this morning and by all of you. So please go ahead and share with us in the comments where you are joining us from, where are you watching us from. Please tag your quarantine buddies, tag your best friends, anybody you want to share this video with, your teacher friends, your parent friends, because really this is an amazing resource for all of you. Our virtual field trips have a wide variety of different topics, and each comes with supplementary educational materials, which can be found in our public Google Drive. The link to that is actually in the caption of this video, so be sure to check those out. We've got word searches, crosswords, and conservation bingo, everything that you could ever possibly want to share with your kiddos at home, as well as all of your teacher friends. So Ocean Connections is actually located within the Milwaukee County Zoo, but we're a separate nonprofit organization. So we are so thankful for all of you who have already supported us throughout this time during the pandemic when our doors are closed. We may be closed, but we're still here caring. We're still here with our beautiful animals. So if you are looking to go ahead and contribute to our conservation efforts, our animal welfare efforts, we actually have a link for donations in our bio. And today is Giving Tuesday now. So usually Giving Tuesday is the Tuesday after Black Friday, but Giving Tuesday decided to do a second one this year, and it is today. So all day long throughout our Facebook, we are going to be giving away different things and different features every hour, from our plush to amazing interactive experiences with our seals and sea lions, and so much more. So be sure to give us that follow on Facebook, and if you are looking for notifications on when we post our virtual field trips, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get those notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming virtual field trips. So let's get started. What are we doing today? We have an amazing activity for everybody, like I mentioned, to do at home, because we know that teachers, parents, students, everybody, while you guys are at home, you're looking for fun things to do, and they're educational, but they're also hands-on. So we have our science, technology, engineering, art, and math-based curriculum that we are supplying to you through our Google Drive. So today, it's Who Dirtied the Water? We're going to be studying a little bit of how we impact global waterways, just like our lakes, our rivers, oceans, everything in between, because they're all connected. So if you're watching from Milwaukee or Cedarburg or Grafton, anywhere in Wisconsin, our actions impact Lake Michigan. If you're watching from Illinois, our actions impact Lake Michigan. If you're watching from the West Coast, we affect different oceans, because all those waterways are going to be connected. So no matter where you are, those actions affect everything we do. It affects the water that we drink, the food that we eat, and everything in between. So I actually have my little lake right here. Of course, we couldn't actually go out to the lake, but I have my little fake lake right here. So I try to use things that you can find in your own home. So I have this container, but when you're doing this with your classroom, you can do it however you would like. You can have them break up into small groups. You can do it as a large class activity. And again, it's really fun to get your kids involved, because there's different roles that everybody can play, and different actions that everything takes. So we are going to start with this beautiful lake. So once upon a time, there was a magnificent land, and next to that land was a beautiful lake. You could see the water, you could see the fish, and everything inside of this water. Now, when it rained, of course, there was sediment that came from the river, and it dumped some sand into the lake. Now, of course, after time, that sand will settle down at the bottom, but it was constantly carried through by that river that ran by a nearby location. Now, next to that also was lots of marshland that helped to keep different things out. So marshes are really important for our water systems, because all of those grasses help soak up the rain to make sure that nothing floods. So we're going to go ahead and add some of that marshland. Now, marshland is also really important because it provides a hiding place for fish. It provides food for fish. So as more and more marshland continues to grow, it becomes fish food, and those fish come by. And it also leaves a great environment for snails. So the snails go ahead and they hang out in those shallow water. So we're gonna add some of our snails into the water. That also become more fish food. So more and more fish. And with fish, of course, comes people. So the Menominee people were traveling along and they happened upon this beautiful lake that had fish and was teeming with life. It was beautiful. It had crawfish and snails and fish, everything that they could possibly imagine. So they decided that they were going to settle here. They decided to create farms, and they went ahead and they had some of the land that they built for cattle and for food sources that they needed that were other than fish. And of course with that came a little bit of soil to grow. So for all of you watching at home right now, I have a couple of questions for you. Would you eat fish that came from this river? I would. Would you swim in it? Probably. Everything in there is natural. It's just like swimming in Lake Michigan right now. And would you boat on this lake? Yeah. Now, more and more, these settlers came to be. They came to grow, and they came to grow this land. So what they ended up doing is they ended up building a town. And this town, of course, came with lots and lots of houses. And with that, unfortunately, came some garbage. Now, some of it was organic garbage, like I just put in there. But some of it was not natural. So they cut down trees in order to make way for more farms, more houses. As they built that town, more and more soil ended up getting in there because those, like I said, those marshlands are really important for protecting villages from flooding, from going ahead and overshadowing with all of that soil. So when they went ahead and they built over and they filled in all of that marshland, there wasn't anything to actually soak up the water or the soil, like the trees and the bushes and the plants that need those nutrients would. And it also meant that as they went ahead and they created those businesses and things and the town continued to grow, they added some sewer pipes. And that sewage actually went right into our lake. So would you guys fish in this? Would you swim in it? Would you boat in it? I think there's maybe one of those three that I would do in this point. But lots of things happening to our waterway, right? You can still see though that there's plenty of water underneath here that's still clean. So it's still impacting all of our fish in their daily lives though. So for those of you who just might be tuning in, who missed the beginning, welcome to Ocean Connections. If you guys have questions, things you want to know about our animals or our activities, please comment those below. We would love to answer any questions that you have about our animals or our facility or the fundraiser that we're doing today for Giving Tuesday Now. So type those questions in the comments. But for those of you who are just joining us, we are doing our Who Dirtied the Water activity as we explore water conservation and how the actions we take no matter where we live affect our oceans and our daily lives. So make sure you guys are checking all of our wonderful educational resources out on our Google Drive. Make sure you're following Ocean Connections on Facebook. We are almost at 10,000 followers. We're hoping by the end of the day that we actually have over 10,000. So make sure you guys give us that like, share our page, tag your friends and your quarantine buddies. This is one of our quarantine buddies. This is actually one of our rescued California sea lions. So this is Canuck. You guys might have met him during our rescue feature last week. So he is one of the animals that we have provided a forever home for. So he stranded multiple times and made his way to our facility just a couple of years ago in the fall, and we are really excited that he is learning and growing and thriving every single day out here with us. So the actions that we take affect beautiful animals just like Canuck. So if you guys are looking for a way to go ahead and help these beautiful animals, we'll actually at the end of the activity be talking a little bit about our conservation work and how you guys can get involved. But right now we have our Giving Tuesday Now fundraiser going on all day on our Facebook page. So every hour there is going to be different featured items that we are giving away with every donation. So all of those donations go right back to these beautiful animals. They go toward the feeding and the care of seals and sea lions, just like Canuck. So thank you guys so much in advance for those of you who have already donated. This hour, we are actually featuring our Rolly rescues. So Canuck is one of our rescue animals. So these Rolly rescues is actually based off of one of our other rescued animals, but it's super cute. It features an adorable little plush on the inside and a really soft fuzzy blanket on the outside. So it's 2-in-1. You get a blanket and a little cuddle buddy. So enter in with those donations. We do have Venmo. You can Venmo us at Ocean Connections, or the link to our fundraiser is actually in the caption of this video, so you can make a donation through our website. Like I said, all of our donations go right back to our beautiful animals, just like Canuck. Right now we are going through about $150 worth of fish every single day. So if everybody right now donated $1, you would be able to feed our animals for a day. So please, no amount is too small, and we thank you in advance if you're able to contribute. If not, thank you guys so much for joining us, and just give us that like or share so that other people know what we're doing, and share us as a resource with all of them. So right now we're doing our Who Dirtied the Water activity, and we're talking a little bit about this beautiful lake and how it's been impacted by settlers and marshland and everybody coming in and moving to that nearby lake that was once crystal clear. So right now our town has just had settlers that are building those houses and everything coming through. And now they're setting up businesses and shops in lots of towns. So that is where the toilet paper came from. It came from the sewer pipes and the sewage. Now, I mentioned that there was lots of beautiful fish in this lake. So of course, it created a lot of fishermen. Now, those fishermen decided that those plastic nets were a little bit better for catching those fish. They were a little bit longer lasting. They were a little bit more durable. But the problem is that a lot of these plastic, these plastic nets, they got caught, they got lost, and they ended up into our lake. And while they were fishing, of course, they were on boats, and those boats meant a lot of garbage was coming off the side, and a lot of little plastic bits were ending up in our lake. So I know I've been asking these questions a lot, but how about now, ladies and gentlemen? Would you fish in this lake? Would you eat fish from this lake? Would you swim in it? And what about boating? Would you boat in this lake? Now, as this town developed more and more, they developed laundromats. They developed areas where you could clean your clothing. But now, when they went ahead and they cleaned the clothing, all of the runoff had some of that laundry detergent in it. So all of that laundry detergent ended up flowing from the river down to our lake and ended up in the water. And also from their clothes, people ended up actually using poisonous cleaners, whether it was the cleaners that they were using for their clothes or even in their homes. When we use different cleaners in our sinks and in our bathrooms, all of those drains and waterways lead right back to our oceans and our waterways and our lakes that's nearby. And then when they went ahead and they had this lake, they also still had beaches. So swimmers and sunbathers and lots of people would come and they would visit this lake, they would visit the waterways, and they would actually leave a lot of garbage. And some of that is actually balloons. We talk about what goes up must come down. And a lot of times balloons, no matter where you release them, the wind carries them for a long, long time. And those balloons can actually end up right in our lakes. If you guys have been to Lake Michigan or the ocean, I'm sure you've seen a balloon, unfortunately, and that can be ingested by different fish, different sea turtles, different animals, and things like that. Now, as that town and the population continued to grow, they created factories to mass produce lots of items that were needed in our own homes. And those actually released a lot of chemicals out into the waterway. That runoff, as they were finishing up making those products, things like that, those factories released harmful chemicals right into our waterways. Now, as they became a really amazing settlement full of lots of items, lots of resources that they could distribute all over, they created a port. Since they were right by the water, they let a lot of boats and things come in so that they could ship things all over the place. But when they became a port and more boats started to come by, it created some oil spills. So a lot of the oil ended up in our waterways. So ladies and gentlemen, how does our lake look? Would you swim in this water? Would you fish? Would you eat fish from this water? And would you boat in it? Now the real question is, who dirtied the water? It's the name of the activity, and that's what we're trying to figure out. So who dirtied the water? And who cleans it up? Well, that would be all of us, right? All of us dirtied the water, whether we're accidentally, buying products that we didn't know were harmful going down our drains, or we're supporting businesses that don't have eco-friendly regulations. All of us are responsible for dirtying the water. But all of us are also responsible for cleaning up the water, and it's super simple. There are a lot of amazing things that we can do in our own homes to help beautiful animals and the world that we share with them. Of course, recycling is one of the simplest things that you can do. Supporting environmentally friendly companies, regulations, things like that. There are so many different cleaners and things that are perfectly healthy for the ocean, and that can go down our drains that aren't negatively impacting the fish that we eat, the animals that we share this beautiful world with. So, of course, making sure that we're using our waterways responsibly. So, of course, Scooter is showing off just how easy recycling is. He knows that those plastics go right in that recycling bin. And, of course, when we are out, when we are about, make sure you take care of our earth, and make sure you dispose of garbage and things responsibly. So right now, I know a lot of people are spending time out in our state parks. They're walking, you're social distancing. Make sure you guys take a bag and some gloves with you and pick up some trash as you guys are going ahead and enjoying our beautiful Wisconsin weather. It's a little bit warmer out. This weekend was beautiful, and leave all natural spaces cleaner than you left them. And of course, one of the biggest things that you can do is support conservation-based organizations, just like Ocean Connections. So we can't do what we do without your amazing support. So we are dedicated to lots of different conservation efforts, from saving and rescuing animals that can't be rehabilitated. During the summer, when we're able to, we do beach cleanups. We clean up hundreds of pounds of garbage every single month during the summer. So hopefully we have an opportunity to go ahead and do that again this summer. And of course, we rely heavily on all of you and your support, like I mentioned. So if you are able, like I said, we have our Giving Tuesday Now fundraiser going on all day today. All of the proceeds go right back to our animal welfare and conservation efforts. So you can help animals just like Scooter here, just with your donations. And we have a ton of amazing giveaways for each and every one of you. Scooter's showing off his dance moves because he's so happy with everybody who's already contributed to our fundraiser so far. And we hope that you guys continue to find these virtual field trips really helpful and resourceful. So if you have any other questions for us or our animals, comment them below. It looks like we do have a question or two, so I'd love to answer that.
So yeah, we have a lot of people that are revisiting us that we know, and so that's exciting. Veronica would like to know if seals and sea lions live together.
They do. So seals like Scooter here, are found on the east and the west coast. Harbor seals, just like Scooter, can actually be found even as far north as Greenland. So their west coast pals are going to overlap with sea lion, California sea lions, like the ones that we have here, like Canuck you met earlier, because their range is actually as far north as British Columbia, Canada, all the way down the west coast to Baja, Mexico. So naturally out in the wild, they would be found together. Any other questions?
Nope, that is it.
Awesome. Well, if you guys think of anything as you're watching this video, anything else you want to know about our animals or our facility, or about these activities, comment them below. We will have somebody answer those questions for you. But thank you guys so much for joining us for our virtual field trip. We really hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite activities to do during our interactive programs. So be sure to follow us on Facebook. We'll be doing our next virtual field trip Friday at 11 a.m. So be sure to tune in, and we will see you guys then. Thanks, everyone.